Hi, it's Sue Clarke here, Chair of Haven Home Safe, and it's a privilege to present to you the annual report for the last 12 months. I have recently been reappointed as Chair of the Board of Haven Home Safe, and I thank very much my fellow directors for giving me that privilege. It is indeed a privilege to be part of this team, this board team and executive and CEO team that really considers the purpose of Haven Home Safe. So I do thank my fellow directors for that privilege. I do acknowledge their hard work, and I do promise you that we will very much focus on our strategy in order to meet the purpose of Haven Home Safe in the next 12 months and beyond. During the past year, we've done a lot of work in considering what is our future. One of the things that I'm very pleased to say is that we reconfirmed our 4 strategic pillars: more homes, more support, more capacity, and more partnerships. It was an important element of our thinking in the last 12 months because that really forms our work for the next 12 months and longer. We also had the privilege in the last 12 months of welcoming 3 new directors to our board, being Jan Snell, Damien Tangi and Gerard Jose. And each of them bring a set of skills and expertise which add significant value to those that already are around the table with our current directors. So I was very pleased to welcome them to our board as we move into this next 12 months. As I said last year, we were at a crossroads because the way we were being funded and the way we were thinking about reaching our 4 pillars was changing. Government policy was changing, government direction was changing. The need to consider stronger partnerships and collaborations needed to occur both with the governments, Commonwealth and state, local government, but also with the broader development sector. And so during this year, that crossroad has led us to really confirm our 4 strategic pillars and then to plan more strategically about our way forward. One of the great outcomes that has been achieved during the year was a terrific merger between Active Housing and Haven Home Safe. We have worked collaboratively with Active for quite a while, but it seemed to us with the introduction of the NDIS, where housing for people with disabilities, both from the very, very severe end of complex needs, right through to those people who are already our tenants, was a key focus of some of our work now and in the future. So with the merger of Active within Haven Home Safe, it's been, in our view and the view of the Active board, a win-win, because Active brings with it a set of extraordinary skills and expertise in working with people with disabilities, both those who need housing and supportive housing, but also those who need to have a level of support to keep them within the private rental market, or in fact within our communities in general. And we brought with that some expertise around the housing options and support options. So with 35% of our tenants already within our housing having disabilities, as I said, it's been a win-win. And we look forward to continuing that engagement along with a whole range of other agencies and partners in the next 12 months. So one of the critical elements of our pillars is partnerships and building strategic intent and partnerships to achieve our purpose. And that does mean a strong relationship with government at all levels, a strategic relationship with other key players, including developers, housing developers and developers, superannuation funds, and a whole range of key players. And we have spent a lot of time in the last 12 months thinking about what does that engagement process look like. One of the outcomes has been to consider how governments are considering providing funds for housing as we move forward. The ideas now from tendering and grants applications have moved on to, in fact, loans, a type of loan that enables us to do our business with a much better return on the investments that we make. We've recently been successful in receiving a loan through the NIFIC program, which is part of the Commonwealth Government's agenda, and that program allows us to borrow $65 million to refinance our current loans at a much lower interest rate. The return for us is that we save $1 million a year over 10 years. That requires and allows us to reinvest that $10 million to meet our purpose in housing and to particularly consider those who are most at risk of homelessness. None of this could occur, of course, without the dedication of our CEO, Ken Marchingo, his executive staff, all of which have put in more than 150% in the last year. Without fail, none of this occurs, none of it, without our staff in general. Our staff that work at the coalface, they're the ones that answer the queries, who are at the front line, who consider the tenants that walk through the door, that answer the phone calls, that build the options, that consider next steps, that work with the most vulnerable of our community members. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank each and every one of them for their dedication and support to Haven Home Safe, to our purpose, and to those we serve.